Good morning, good morning. Turn some lights on in here. Good morning, you guys. Happy Monday. I missed late. I'm sorry. I'll wait for you guys to get in. I see it's two of you guys already. I woke up late. My bad. Oh, I had a long night. Good morning, good morning. Online Safety and Amelia. Sorry. Look, and this is exactly why I stream, because y'all are my accountability partners. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? How was you guys' weekend? I hope it was great. You guys, I didn't go to sleep until like probably 4 this morning. And it wasn't just that I went to bed at 4 this morning. I also turned my ringer down a little bit last night. Usually I have it blasting because I don't really, I do wake up to vibrations, but I don't even think my phone vibrates when the alarm is going off. But because I went to sleep late and I slept with my eye mask, so I was in a deep sleep on top of that, and I turned my ringer down, I literally didn't hear it. So at some point I woke up and I don't even know how long I laid there. It had to have been like maybe an extra 10 minutes. And I was like, you can't fall asleep. So maybe you should look at your phone to see what time it is, just to see how much time you have left, to sleep. And that phone said 8:44. Y'all, my alarm had been going off for 45 minutes. I didn't hear anything. And my best friend called me twice. Didn't hear that either. So she was in a deep sleep. Okay. She was in a deep sleep, and it just is what it is. Okay. But I'm here. That's all that matters. Good morning, Sue Trades. Yes, Amelia, it's a long night. Okay. But I'm used to going to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning anyway. I think it was just, I was already tired, right? The night before, Saturday night, I think I went to bed at about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I woke up at 8. And I couldn't go back to sleep. So I just stayed awake, and at some point I was already starting to get tired. But the later it gets in the day, it's like, I don't really want to take a nap because then I ain't gonna be able to go to sleep tonight. So I just stayed up. So sometimes my body just be like, girl, let me show you. And that's what happened. So yeah. But the reason why I was up so late last night is because I had this epiphany, I had an epiphany on, I think it was Friday evening, maybe. And I was like, you know what? I want to try something next week. I want to go and experiment on some stuff next week. And that's why you only see one account up there right now. Now, because I was late to the charts, that's the only reason I'm break even. I only had I only missed 2 trades while I wasn't on the charts, and both of them were wins. And then I took a win and took a loss. So I should be 3-1 right now. So that's just my fault. But I was in the process of reviewing the trades from last week, trying to figure out all right, are there any more minor adjustments that I need to make? And then something came over me and was like, yo, let's try this little thing right here. So my cheat sheet is basically nothing on it right now. Practically nothing. Very simple, very to the point. You guys know that the process of me developing this strategy since right before New Year's, when I switched over to a volume-based strategy, the things that I was paying attention to the most were the volume of the 3 swings. So if I'm getting into a buy here, I will look at the volume of this swing, and this swing. And then I will also look at the volume of this reversal candle, this reversal candle, and this reversal candle. And so I was looking for consistent patterns that were happening like that. Okay. However, as time continued to progress, I feel like my strategy got to the point where as long as I have a cheat sheet, that's fine, right? But I don't want to have a cheat sheet in order to trade. It's cool in the beginning because, again, you guys have to remember, although I keep telling y'all that I really don't want to teach, at some point I probably am going to teach. And so I want to make it to where it's still very simple for somebody to be able to trade it eventually without a cheat sheet. Now, probably over time of me trading with this over and over and over and over, I'm going to remember the rules. A lot of them were pretty easy to remember, to be honest with you. My cheat sheet don't look like it, but it was pretty easy to remember for the most part. The only reason I would still have to look down at my cheat sheet is because over time I've made so many adjustments week by week, every few days, that I just forget rules are no longer rules, and rules that weren't rules are now rules. But I said, you know what? Since I can't trade that 50K, that, remember, I canceled my two 25Ks last week and I replaced them with 50Ks. So since I can't trade the one that I bought on, I think it was the 17th, until next Monday, I said, let's just use this week to experiment. I have two 50Ks right now still, where one of them renews on the 1st and one of them renews on the 5th. And one has like $800 in drawdown. The other one has $700 in drawdown. So my goal is just to use these two accounts to experiment this week. So I did a little bit of back testing yesterday. And because it was my best friend's day, weekend off, I really played the game too. So that's kind of, and I was just over it already. Like, I went through the first 2 days and was like, okay, I'm tired of looking at this. I tell you guys all the time, I'm tired of back testing because I've been back testing for so long. But I made things so simple. And one of the things that I did was I did remove the volume up down indicator. So right now I'm not going to be trading based off of the volume that's in each reversal bar and comparing them to each other. But I am basically using a volume profile indicator to basically just show me where the point of control is in the reversal bars. That's it. That's the only thing that I care about. I don't care about, because you know, like with volume profile, how you see like all the orders or whatever. Now with this one, it's not so detailed that it shows you like the number of orders in each tick of the bar. It'll just basically paint it colors, but it doesn't show you the numbers. I don't care about that at all. I literally only care about where the point of control is. So I'm doing a little bit of experimenting, but we're going to see what happens. We're going to see. So yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Applejacks. Yeah, I got some good sleep eventually. Whenever, I'm a light sleeper too. So if I sleep through alarms, I know I was tired. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be experimenting with this week. And we'll kind of see what happens. Now, I only back tested last week's data, and I wanted to do last week because last week was such a low volume, low volatility week that, you know, at first, whenever I was back testing and putting a strategy together, I was typically choosing a week inside of a month where it was the week before FOMC, because I told you guys, like, I always have way more trades the week before FOMC or whatever. So I always do that. But the problem is, like I told you guys before, when I was developing this strategy, the things that work in the weeks where there's high volatility didn't work in the weeks where there was low volatility. So I wanted to see that if I traded this way, where I'm only paying attention to the point of control, I wanted to see like if I would still have very little trades in a week like last week, or would I have more trades, and would they be more quality trades? And what I found is that a lot of trades that I was not taking based off of my previous setups and strategy, they were fine if I just used the point of control as my means of, you know, figuring out if I'm going to get into the trade or not. The other benefit of trading this way that I can see that's going to end up happening if this is something that I stick to is the fact that I don't have that volume up down indicator on my chart anymore. I told you guys that thing causes my lags, like my data or the order submission lag that I have sometimes. It comes from that indicator. Any lag that I have on my chart ever comes from that volume up down indicator. And the only reason why I know is because this was months ago. One of the mods in the Apex Discord, he came into the mod chat one day asking if anybody had an alternative to the native NinjaTrader volume up down indicator. He said because after there was one of the rhythmic updates that happened after we had, you know, a couple of crashes or whatever, it made that volume indicator, up down indicator, screw up our charts. Yeah. So I was like, oh, wait, so that's what's causing my issues. And he's like, yeah. So I was looking for different ones, but I just never was able to find one. There was one that I found that I tried to use, and all it did was freeze my charts. Like the charts wouldn't load at all. So I'm curious to see how the data submission is going to be, and we'll see from there. But hopefully this ends up being a way that I like to trade, because it is so much simpler. Like, so much simpler. Still trading the same way with the pullbacks and the divergence and all of that, but now my rules are so simple and easy to remember. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I get some trades, you know, in the next hour that I'm going to be on the charts, and we'll just kind of go from there. We will go from there. I thought I was going to still be tired by the time I got settled in, but I'm actually pretty wide awake. So I'm going to go to the store, work out, do all that kind of stuff after I'm done trading, and kind of go from there. All right, the only thing, I gotta figure out how to take this freaking circle thingy off. Matter of fact, because I can't see past it because it's so large. Oh, my back. Yeah, I'm so curious to see how I'm going to end up liking this over time, though. I'm not going to get into this sell because we're so close to this buy rotation level, and I would need to break even there anyway. So, and it's like literally... the close of this bar is 1 point away from there, so my entry would just be 3 ticks away. There's no point. It'll end up breaking even anyway, so we'll just sit and wait. Now, I don't know how heavy this bar profiler is. So, but I'm going to put it on this chart real quick just so I can show you guys what it looks like on my end. And then I'm going to remove it just because I don't want it to freeze my charts. I just know that certain indicators are super heavy on my chart or on my RAM. So, but I do want to show you guys kind of what it looks like. So, legit. So the white lines are just where the point of control is inside of each bar. And I mean, obviously, when we're actually in the trend, for the most part, the point of control is going to be at the bottom of the candles. But I just care about where it is on the reversal candles. And I'm just comparing that to different levels and kind of like using it that way or whatever. But I'm still looking at all the different levels that's on my chart to determine if I'm going to enter or not. But I'm only entering based off of where the point of control is compared to the levels that I'm looking at, if that makes sense. So we'll see how this ends up working out. Let's see. Wait, something's off. Oh, yeah, that. right, so no buy for this particular divergence. Wherever this reversal bar happens, I'm not going to take a buy because I realized a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, I don't remember, that take no buys going back towards that resistance level. So really, I'm just waiting for the next pullback for the downtrend to figure out if I'm going to trade or not. So the other thing, and why this is going to be a lot easier if I can get this to work out, which I don't perceive me having to do too many tweaks, to be honest with you. But the other thing that's really cool is I no longer have to worry about like where the previous reversal bars hit, except for things like that where I don't want to take buys going back towards resistance, or I don't want to take sales going back towards a buy rotation level. Those things are still a thing. Okay. But aside from that, you guys know like how I'll always be like, okay, I can't take this trade because we're going back towards a VWAP, or we're going back towards a this level or that level. I don't got to worry about that no more. The other thing that I still am going to do is like, because the prior open and current open I look at as support levels, and then the prior close is a resistance level for me, and then like the prior high and prior lows, based on how I see those as support and resistance, I'm still going to do the same thing with those though, where like I'm not going to take a sale going back towards a prior open or the current open, because I look at that as support. So besides those things, I'm not limited anymore of not taking trades going back towards certain levels. So that should be pretty cool as well. And that's really it. Like, my cheat sheet before was pretty much filled to the brim on two different sides. Now it's like practically empty. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully I could just get a couple trades in and we go from there. So this trade was going to end up working out, but you could see how when we got here to the buy rotation level, we did pull back and it would have hit my break even. You can see based on the wick right there. The other thing that I realized with me trading this way too is it looks like I won't have to break even at the middle VWAP or the middle pivot level like I always do. The only time it looks like I'll need to break even so far, because we only got a week of data, but I told you guys things are so consistently like the Nasdaq shows such consistent patterns. I should be okay, but we'll see. But the only thing that I will need to do is like if I'm in a sale and we hit this support level right here, break even. Or if it's one of the other support or resistance levels, just break even. But I won't have to break even at the, like I said, the middle VWAP or the middle pivot level like I've been doing for months. So that should be cool too. But we'll see. I'm excited to see where the simplicity is going to get me. But the thing is, like, had I never thought about switching to a volume-based strategy in December, January, had I never gone through this entire process of frustration for the last 5 months, I wouldn't have even thought about doing this. And actually, I'm gonna tell you guys, I found this indicator so long ago. I've actually recommended it to people in different channels on the Discord and everything, because I've seen people ask for something like this. And I actually have put it on my chart a couple of times, but I just couldn't figure out like how I wanted to use it. And because I started in the last 5 months seeing the consistent volume patterns and stuff, I'm like, I feel like it's just something that I'm missing. And I don't know, I just had the thought of go put this on your chart and let's see if the point of control, because I know that a lot of people trade with volume profile, like the regular volume profile. So I wanted to see, and my trading buddy, this was the other thing. So my trading buddy, he had asked me if I knew about basically an indicator like this. And I've sent it to him before, but he wanted one that actually showed him, I think, all the numbers, all the orders at each tick inside of the bar or whatever. And that kind of had me thinking as well. It's been in the back of my mind since we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And so, yeah, I was just like, let's just see. So far today, like I said, I think I should have like 4 trades if I'm not mistaken. which is not bad at all, especially for a Monday with very little news. So we'll see. But this is what I'm going to be doing all week. I'm just going to trade one account at a time just in case. I don't want the 250Ks that renew in 2 weeks. I don't really want them to blow right now. I need them to last for a little bit. So yeah, we'll just experiment this week, and if all goes well, I'll start trading the other accounts and start copy trading again starting next Monday. So we'll see. What? Hit the all-time high and turn to shit. I guess this is gonna be the month where we continue making all-time highs, huh? Let me go see. But I also noticed like I'm not getting a lot of the, I told you guys, especially like right after 10 o'clock, I'll get this lag on my chart where if I just hold the chart and scroll like this, it just lags. I don't know what it is, but I have not gotten any lag with, I do know in one of the trades that I was in, the one that I took profit on, it did show that I was still in the trade after I was no longer in the trade or whatever. But aside from that, that was really it. But I think that that was just a rhythmic issue because when I was in those trades, my data lag timer was pretty high. It was like over a second. So I'll show you guys. I'll show y'all the 2 trades I took. And actually, I'll also show you. I'll also show you the trades that I missed since I was late to the charts. All right, so let's see, because it wasn't very many. And I also want to see how I want to do 1 bar pullbacks, because I think I want to do 1 bar pullbacks again, but only using this method, but we'll see. But this is a potential setup right here with this 1 bar pullback. Here is a trade that I missed. It would have came 1 tick from stopping me out, but I still would have made it. That would have been a full take profit right there. Oh, you know what? I did miss more than that. All right, so I missed this trade. This one would have been a loss right there. Then I missed this win right here. I actually took this trade. And then I think actually that's it, because I just went through and kind of quantified. No, I actually did take this trade. All right, so I took this trade and it lost. Why can't I see that on my chart? Oh, I can. I forgot it takes it off. Yeah, so I took this trade right here that lost, but this one I've already quantified it. I've already figured out how I filtered through that one, which it actually won earlier. So it hasn't, last week I think it set up twice, maybe once. I don't remember. But either way, I think I've already quantified how to get out of those. And that's just the way that I used to like to trade all the time, where it's trying to start a new trend, basically. So where did it go? I think it's this one, right? So we're in an uptrend and I'm trying to get in early to the start of the downtrend. So I think I've already kind of figured out how I want to trade that. I already knew where I wanted the point of control to be, but I didn't know exactly how I wanted the indicators that show me the trend. I didn't know how I wanted that to be though yet. So I think I figured it out already. We'll see. We will see. Now 43.48. We pushed on way further than I thought we would. What is that? Oh, 43.56. Point of control in this bar is too low. I want to see it closer to the close of this particular bar. Oh, and there it is. That changed real quick. Hopefully it doesn't take me long to make whatever little tweaks need to be made. That's what I'm hoping. Even without a full back test. What I will probably do, maybe not today, but probably tomorrow. It depends on how much time I have today. I might end up going ahead and back testing the week before last. And kind of seeing how that will end up working. Or I might do the week of... I'll probably do the week of April 29th because I feel like that was the week before FOMC, right? Let me see. I don't remember. All right, that pulled back too far. I feel like it was... No, that was the week of FOMC. All right, so I might do the week of April 21st. Just because I know that that would be a good compare and contrast between that particular week where there was higher volatility and high volume versus last week. Last week just was not a lot of movement. But it also will be a lot quicker for me to backtest doing it this way. So I might do both weeks. We'll see. But my goal is to not have to take 5 months to figure this out. Which I don't think I will. It'll be a lot easier since I'm still carrying like the same... it's like the same setups. It just doesn't take so much to qualify it as a trade. This price action is definitely crap. Listen, we can't take a third week of crap. I didn't like last week or the week before. Good morning, Rio. Good morning, Trenches. How are you guys this morning? How goes it? All right, let me open up streams. One, two, three, four. Oh, Hamza didn't go live this morning. Where are you? All right. How about that's done? Wednesday might have fireworks with the FOMC meetings. Otherwise, another meh week. Seems like I just want some movement, Amelia. But if we don't have a whole lot of volatility, but this new way that I'm trading works out, I'm going to be the happiest woman y'all ever seen, okay? I just don't like, okay, I'm only here for 2.5 hours. I only want 18 ticks out of the market each time. I ain't asking for much. So when I'm scalping and I only have 1 to 3 valid setups in a session, baby, we have a problem. That's the other reason why I was like, something's got to give. I've maybe overcomplicated this at this point, which is normal for me. I told you I'm super analytical, and my brain just thinks very complicated to begin with. Like, I will make something simple complicated just because that's how my brain is wired. So I'm like, nah, because I can't sit through weeks of that, because, sometimes in the summertime, the volatility and the volume is going to be lower. The market makers are out on vacation, things like that. So I'm like, nah, if things are going to be like it was the last few weeks, she can't keep trading that exact same way, because I'm going to go I'm going to go crazy. I can't do it. Applejacks. It ain't lunchtime yet. Do I trade options, Luke? Nope. I only trade I was about to say Forex. Who trades Forex? I only trade futures. I've never traded options before. I've only traded binary options, and I used to trade that on Nadex, and I haven't traded that way in some years, just because it only takes a couple of times for that contract to expire right at your expiry price, or one tick on the other side. Only takes one time, maybe 2, maybe 3 before you like, So yeah, I only trade futures. I started off in futures 10 years ago. I started off as a swing trader. I did learn some scalping strategies back then as well, but I started off as a swing trader, a multi-day, multi-week swing trader. Eventually I transitioned into intraday swinging. At one point when I was trading binary options, it was more of like I wouldn't say scalping, but there was like a strategy that I learned for the open, and there was another strategy that they call like the butterfly strategy, where it was kind of like choosing ranges and, choosing contracts based on those prices or whatever. So I've done a lot with that. Eventually got into Forex. Got screwed on a GJ buy, trading on Trader's Way, which was an overseas broker. They screwed a whole bunch of us, did a whole bunch of stop hunting, and I was over Forex at that point. There was a couple of times where I did go back to Forex just because of the lower cost of entry. It takes way less money to put into an account to be able to start building off of with Forex versus having a personal account with futures and having to meet margin requirements and things like that, even with micros, so eventually I got back into futures and I haven't looked back. I've kind of been back trading futures for probably about 2 years or so, but 2 years ago I was doing intraday swinging, and probably sometime last year, like early last year, is when I started to look into scalping, because it was always my goal to master scalping, because I don't want to sit on the charts all day. I want to be in and out. I've had enough trades where I'm in for weeks at a time or hours at a time, and it gets close to my take profit and it hits my break even, or stops me out at this weird place and just continues to go. So that was kind of my goal. And except last year when I got back into trading, really, I still wasn't really focused on trading, since I had a traditional business that I was running, a credit repair business. So I didn't really start focusing on trading again until September. Started off intraday swing trading again, and then switched to scalping again. And then January, I switched to more volume-based trading, which was not the easiest thing to do because there's not very much data at all. There's actually no data out there at all about using volume when you're trading with Rinkos. So I've basically really just been putting all this together myself from scratch. And it's been a journey, and it's been a difficult one and a long one, but I'm getting close to where I want to be. It's just taking a little bit more time than I would like. But that's that. Only option. Good morning, Husk. How are you this morning? We'll have to run. Sue trades. What's your strategy? So my strategy just changed today. That's why the title of it is experimenting. Actually, it didn't change. I'm still trading the same way, just with different requirements. So I was saying earlier when I first got on the stream that the way that I was attempting to put a strategy together before was I was looking at the total volume of the previous two swings. So every time I get into a trade, I'm always going to get into, oh, do I want to do this? Yeah, because we're experimenting, right? Hold on, I got you. Give me a second. So yeah, I would basically look at the total volume in this swing, and this one. So the previous two swings, right? And I always got in at the close of reversal bars, always. Okay. So not only would I look at the volume in each swing, but I would also look at the volume in each reversal bar as well. So I would compare the volume of this one to this one to this one, kind of thing, right? And at some point, I just felt like I just made this more complicated than it has to be. So that's why I'm experimenting with something else. And that was a data lag. That's all right. So now what I'm doing, I'm still trading the same way. I'm trading different pullbacks and different divergences. But now instead of looking at the volume of the swings and the volume of the reversal bars, I'm just looking at where the point of control is in the reversal bar that I'm trying to get into the trade with. And that's it. That's how I'm going to do that. So I'm hoping that me doing it this way will make things a little bit easier, because with the different setups that I had, it just was going to end up being a lot trying to remember all the rules without looking at my cheat sheet and things like that. So we'll kind of see what happens. I do know that when I was back testing last week, I wasn't quite sure how I liked divergence trades like this, where I'm buying at the sell rotation level. So that trade is kind of like I already didn't really know how I wanted to do that kind of thing. So we'll kind of see long term though, because it wasn't really a lot of examples to begin with. So kind of is what it is. But yeah, so we're just going to experiment with that this week and see how I like it. And if I like it better than what I was doing before, I'm going to stick to it all week. I'm going to take every single setup that happens all week, and we're going to go from there. Let's see. So the point of control just moved again. But yeah, I think I had one example like this that I didn't really like when I was back testing yesterday. Who's shady, Amelia? Captain Price, scalpers are pros, yes. I just prefer it. I really do. I just don't like being in the market for long. And I know that once I figure out exactly how I want to scalp, that I'm going to be so much happier scalping than I will being in trades for a long time. Like, there's nothing that burns worse than sitting in a trade for 2 weeks and ending up break even. Because you think about all the damn trades that you could have had if you were intraday swing trading in between time. And then the same thing happens with me with intraday swinging. There's nothing worse than sitting in a trade for 4 hours for it to hit your break even or, whatever. And then you just think about, like, in that 4 hours, I could have scalped like 12 times and just been done. So that's why I'm like, nah, we gonna figure this out. We are. Good morning, True Seeker. How are you this morning? There aren't enough people on YT trading options. I don't feel like there's a lot of people on YouTube trading, period. Especially not live streaming, but there's not like a lot of traders on YouTube to me, especially when you compare it to like shorter content as far as reels go and things like that, or people who are on Instagram or TikTok. When you compare it to that, but I do also believe that the reason why is because most of them are faking. You can't fake very much when you're live streaming. Just saying. Oh, Forex firms. Yeah, Forex firms are very shady. And it really sucks because, of course, with all of the things that are happening in the Forex space, you have so many Forex traders that are coming into futures. And although it's good because at the end of the day, most people who trade Forex are going to trade on unregulated brokers, which is not the best thing to do anyway. And they're also trading CFDs, which are illegal. So it's better for them to come to a more regulated market, right? However, like I saw this one post, I feel like it was shared maybe in the mod chat, I can't remember, but it was a post from a guy on Twitter that just came over to Apex from a Forex firm. And he was saying how like initially he thought that with futures firms, it was going to be a lot harder for him to pass the evals / challenges / combine, whatever you want to call it. And he was saying that he was very surprised that it was so much easier than the Forex firms. And he also was saying how he was glad that he ended up switching because he feels like he doesn't have to worry about whether he's going to be paid out or not. Now, newsflash for him, there are still some scammy futures companies out there that you have to watch out for. And I've been hearing some different things from different people about different ones. But aside from that, that was one of the first things that I paid attention to once I finally was like, oh, let me try this. Because I told you guys, my best friend who trades, when he first told me about prop firms, I was like, baby, I'm not going to trade nobody else's money. I don't even want to risk my own money. Like, let alone somebody else's. Are they going to come find me if I lose this money? Like, that's how I was thinking. So eventually, once he started telling me more and more about it, months later or whatever, because he bought his first Apex account before I did. So when he told me about it, in a little bit more in detail, I was like, oh, well, let's try that. And so, of course, once I started comparing, because I had already knew about UProfit, because I was in a Facebook group that the owner was running. I believe she was the owner. I feel like it was UProfit. So I knew about UProfit. I had never heard of Top Step. So I had only heard about UProfit and then Apex eventually. And when I looked at the rules, I was like, wait a second. We don't have to do a 2-step process? Because most Forex firms were like that. It was a 2-step process. You got to meet the profit target in 30 days. And then right after that, you have to do it again, do half of it, I believe, in double the time or something like that. And so, of course, when you first starting out, you think that, oh, like, all right, this is cool because if I could do it once, I should be able to do it a second time and only have to do half of whatever the profit target is in double the time. But then it's like, why do I got to do this 2-step process? Why? So once I realized that futures firms were 1 step, and then, of course, learning the difference between the end of day and the trail and drawdown didn't really bother me because I knew that at some point I was going to transition to scalping anyway. So the only time I'm hitting the trail and drawdown is because my strategy is not where it needs to be. And that's just that simple. I don't have to worry about anything else. So for me, it was like, all right, the rules are great. Yeah, you do have the payout maxes and stuff like that, when you're first starting out, but that didn't bother me at all. But yeah, kind of still is a 2-step process if you got to pass then make the buffer. That is true. But with the Forex firms, you had to pass the eval the first time, then pass the eval the second time. And then I don't remember but they never had the they never had like a profit target for you to meet to get paid out, right? It just was you had to make a minimum amount, and as long as you had to, you could just withdraw a minimum amount. I feel like maybe that is. So yeah, I guess technically it is still a two-step process, really. It is. You're right about that, actually. You are right. But I just didn't, I don't know. I think also my problem with Forex firms was the time limits. Like, don't tell me that I have to do this in a certain period of time. As long as I do it, what does it matter? So that was the other thing where I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to like the futures prop firms better. Yeah, technically I would have to pay for this again. But that was the other thing, the price of it. I feel like when I paid for my FTMO account, I remember it was a 100K account, and I feel like I paid $650 for that bad boy. I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, let's go to the FTMO website. And I never passed it, but I did, one of the times I did end up just getting it back to, because with them, if you don't pass it by that date, you at least have to have the balance back above the initial balance. So I got it like a couple of cents back above the balance so that I could get the free reset. And I just never did it again. Just never did it again. All right, let me see. I feel like it was $650. Like, why would y'all have this in euros? Probably because you don't take US traders anymore. Oh, that's why. All right, let's see. Euro to USD. 540. So it's like 586 in US dollars. But I don't know if they prices went down or something. This was years ago. But I'm pretty sure I paid $650. So it's like, by the time you might have to keep paying monthly for an eval. But if you just not even think about having multiple accounts, if you just have one eval that you keep blowing month by month as you continue to try to figure out your strategy and things like that, you know how many months you could trade that same eval, not paying for any reset fees or anything? How long you have to trade before you get to $650? Yeah, no. I don't like the cost of Forex firms at all. That actually pissed me off when I realized it. When you realize you still got a two-step process, it's just a little bit different. This morning went by fast, y'all, but I feel like it's because I woke up so late. I don't even think I got on the charts till almost 9 o'clock. Hold on, I'm opening my Discord. The number of messages, like, I don't be playing, y'all. I'll try to go through that today. I'm one of those people, like, when I open up my phone and I see a bunch of notifications, I'm not going to open them, and it just piles up. And the same thing with different social media. If I see that I have a whole bunch of DMs now, I don't even want to look because it's overwhelming to even think about going through them. But I'm going to try to get through them today, though. All right. So I can't really trade right now until we push up quite a bit. And I don't know if we're going to do that in the next 30 minutes, but we'll see. But let's see. I can take the divergence trade. However, we just need to push away a little bit. Like, probably we'll need to get to about 760 maybe for me to really be able to look at taking the trade. Maybe even as high as like 765. We'll see. And see, like here, I wasn't wrong. I was just too early, right? And this is why I'm thinking about not taking the buys at the sell rotation level. So the only thing is, though, the way that I was trading before, I wouldn't take this divergence because it started with a double bottom. and this double bottom was a lower low. So typically I wouldn't have taken that, right? And I definitely wouldn't have taken because we were going back towards the VWAP. But I told you guys now that doesn't matter to me anymore. There's also the fact that this support level became resistance here, and it went through the body of this candle. So with my old way that I was trading it, I would have never traded this at all, which is why I'm just like, I think I just don't want to take divergence at the rotation levels if the rotation level is opposite of the way that I'm going, which will be very easy to remember and to do. So that's probably what I'm going to do. We'll see. I think there was only one, maybe two examples of that last week. I feel like it was only one, but I don't know. That's not where because it's off. All right, the point of control is where I want it to be for now. Oh, but we pushed up some more, so. All right, now my levels are more in the order that I wanted to see it. I would have still gotten into the sell because the goal this week is to take every trade, right? Every trade that you think is a setup, just take it. That's what experimenting is for. I don't want to have a whole bunch of trades like in my miss/didn't take column in my journal. But my levels were a little bit out of order of what I wanted to see them at. But now they're in order, so now I feel a little bit more comfortable taking the trade if it sets up. This is definitely going to be such a weird way of trading because it's so much more simplified. It's so weird. But I used to trade a whole lot more simple when I was intraday swing trading. So, and did I take that screenshot? I did not. I had this memory pop up on YouTube, on Facebook a couple of days ago, and it was showing that I think it was 2 years ago. I was in this trade on the Nasdaq actually, which I didn't even remember that I used to intraday swing on there, but whatever. But I was up like $1,000 and I was trading micros. I have so many good memories from a couple of years ago, and I used to share my wins and my losses too. So I just used to trade so well, and I just don't want to trade that way no more. I cannot take sitting on the charts all day. It's like, I'm disappointed. You leave me alone. It's all the same stuff, nothing new. Yeah. Let's see, 25 minutes. All right, I'm gonna see this move down a bit. Point of control right now is in the wick. I want it to be in the body of the candle. I can tell you guys that is one thing that I know for sure. The way that I want to trade with this is any type of divergence. I want the point of control to be in the body of the candle and not the wick. So this is complete counter trend divergence. We started with a lower high, we ended with a higher high, and my trend bias is an uptrend right now because we didn't break this zone. So I want the point of control to be in the body of this candle. That simple. And that's so much easier to remember than, all right, What's the volume of this candle versus this one versus this one? We ain't even gotta do that no more. We're stalling quite a bit, so it's like trying to figure out if it wants to reject here at the resistance level or not. I do also know that based on the data that I have from last week, I'm not yet going to be able to trade where there's divergence at a new high or low, unless it's this type of divergence where we start with a lower high and go to a higher high versus a higher high to higher high divergence. Right now, I'm not going to be able to trade at a new high or low. I do know for sure that it does not work out if the point of control is in the body of the candle. But so far, with it being in the wick of the candle, it's like break even. I think last week there were 8 setups. Well, it's a little bit negative actually. There were 8 setups. There were 3 wins, 4 losses, and a break even. And even when I went a little bit deeper into the data to figure out, like, does it matter how if the previous reversal bar moves off of something, I couldn't find anything to quantify it. So for right now, I'm just not going to take the trades there, which is fine. I don't feel like I've been missing out on much at all. And just like when I was developing the strategy previously, if there's something that's going to make me break even, there's no point in taking it. Not if you have much higher quality setups elsewhere. It's no point. I'm just mad I was late to the charts. I actually was really looking forward to trading this morning. I was so excited that I'm doing something new, something simpler, and then I don't even wake up on time. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. I will tell you, it's so weird not seeing that volume up down indicator at the bottom of my screen. That's so weird. But it will be nice not having to, because there were times in the last like month of me trading where I miss a trade because it's invalid this whole time, and then there's this volume spike at the very end to validate the trade, or vice versa. It's been valid this whole time, and right before the bar closes, it invalidates itself because of some huge volume spike. So things like that was just like, bro, what? Why do I have to deal with this? So it'll be nice to not have to look at something in such a detailed manner. And hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully we can make this work. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do the 1 bar pullbacks yet, though. Because I still don't know. I still don't know. I just heard about a stock FFIE doubling, got ready in a chokehold, like, oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. So it begins. So it begins. You know what? I have a childhood, I wouldn't say friend, but he's the cousin of somebody who he's actually the nephew of my mom's childhood best friend. and he's been getting more into stocks lately or whatever. And when he used to post a whole lot about stock stuff, he definitely said that he would find his information from Reddit, and he was making some decent money, decent returns from what he was finding in different Reddit forums. Reddit seems like the place to be for stocks. All right, I wouldn't be surprised if we push down a little bit. All right, so here so I didn't take this trade, right? Because the point of control was up here in the wick. And you can see that I would have ended up being stopped out by like 2 ticks, and then it would have went straight in my direction. I would have still been in the trade. I would have actually had to break even here at the new rotation level that painted while in the sale. You can see we wicked up here, which means it would have been a break even trade anyway. But of course I didn't get into it, and it would have been a loss. So I've already learned a few things so far. That was probably actually figuring out where I wanted the point of control to be for the regular pullbacks and the divergence was actually pretty easy to figure out pretty quickly. So risky. Yeah. God is on his side. Is he bald? He's actually bald. Yes. He is bald. He is. Now, I don't know if he's still doing it now, but I know like with GameStop, AMC, like some of those stocks that like surged out of nowhere, he definitely caught it before the surge because of Reddit. Yeah. I will hope that in this time he's figured out how to quantify things himself and not rely on that kind of stuff. But hey, if it works, look, it works until it doesn't work anymore, right? Largest. $20. Whoa, I did not see that. The Timberwolves were down 20 with 11 minutes left in the third and came back and won by 8. That's crazy. Hold on, I'm reading something. Oh, that's the truth. All right. That game was so good. I didn't watch. I feel like we were playing 2K and somebody we were in a party with. I don't think they were. No, you know what? They came in after the game and was like, yo, the Timberwolves put on a show. And he was talking about it a little bit, but he didn't like go into detail about how they was down by 20 and came back and won by 8. I ain't know all that. And it was game 7, right? I was so close to turning it off in the third quarter and going to sleep. Good thing you didn't, because you'd have missed a good one. I'm gonna probably try to look on YouTube to see if somebody stole the footage and would at least show the highlights that happened between that time. Janelle passed one of my 75Ks. We'll see what happens next. Ooh, congratulations. So which accounts are you currently pulling profit out of? Because I know you've had a payout or two. Wait, that was your first payout, right? The 6K? I'm sorry. You know my memory's bad. I'm always apologize for it. I can't help it. But what account sizes do you prefer? And is the 75K your first one? Your first one that you passed for 75K? I think the only other person that I've seen talk about 75Ks is Prodigy Futures. He's one of the mods in the Apex Discord. I feel like he's the one who talks about 75Ks. He said it's a hidden gem. Uh-oh. Let me go look and see. Timberwolves. First of all, don't put full game. Oh, full highlights. I was about to say, how you gonna put full game and it's a 9-minute video? That don't even make sense. But no, I said it's the highlights. If you ain't highlighting just the things that happened in the last 2 quarters, I don't want to see it. Still just waiting for a pullback. The divergence is not going to work because of the resistance level there. And we only got 15 minutes, so who knows if that'll happen. Come on now. Every time I move the slider on the video, we get an ad. Come on. Come on, come on. All right, that's the second quarter. That's got to be a bad way to get out of the semifinals. Horrible way. For somebody to basically have a 30-point swing on you in 2 quarters is crazy. That's insane. All right, so right now they down 17. Oh, this one he hit the 3 to make it 20. Why is the market not doing anything? That is a crazy swing. Not Janelle looking more and more like a potential sugar mama. Wait a second. This is why we have to kick Applejacks out sometimes, girl. Girl, what? Speaking of sugar, where your sugar daddy bill at? I've had 75Ks before, just crashed them after getting funded. Got you. Hopefully I will at least get 3K funding this month. You will. You got this. They always say the first payout is hard. And after that, all you gotta do is stick to what you was doing unless you was gambling. And I know you ain't no gambler. You know, most of the gamblers, most of the full port people, they all men. I feel like women are much more disciplined. We're not psychos. These men be doing some stuff where I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? Let me finish watching these highlights. Oh, the ball movement. Ooh. The ball movement. Still. Oh, I wish I watched this live. But I probably would have turned the game off, Applejacks. I would not have stuck around. Like, this game over. Big move. Another steal. So they pretty much brought it all the way back in the third. That's crazy. You know what? That makes this comeback even worse for the Nuggets. Because first of all, wait a minute. You allowed them to get a 20-point swing on you in one quarter. Because what was it? It was 38-58 with 11 minutes left. So basically the start of the third quarter. And they only ended up down 1 by the end of the third quarter. That's crazy. But you know what? The fact that the Timberwolves still had enough stamina to keep going, because that's a lot. To do all of that in 12 minutes is a lot. That takes a hell of a lot. And to be able to keep that stamina up for the rest of the game and finish it out. Man, that was nice. Oh, now that 3 is crazy. This 3 right here is insane. Stay on your feet. Man, oh man, oh. Oh, that's a big move. Y'all want to know something? Me and my best friend are tired of playing with our friends on 2K for stuff like this. Stuff like this. Sir, it's 3 people. That means it's 2 people open right now. You got 2 people over here wide open. So pass the ball back out. I complain about this every day playing 2K. I be pissed. Why do you have to force it in there with all these people? Yes, I get it, you big, and you think that you could just dunk with them hanging on you, but you cannot. When I tell y'all, I be complaining about this every night. Yelling at, look. And the worst part is, I have such a high 3 on 2K, y'all. I got a 96 3. I shoot almost 70% from 3. Okay? And my friends will take it up on 3 people like that instead of doing the one more. Get the 3. I'm sorry. You would be like, girl, kick them off the team. Trust me, it's coming. It's coming. We was just talking this morning. I'm like, bruh, I already told you I don't like playing with this dude like that. And the way he be forcing, I can't. I can't anymore. Like, we lost games yesterday because of that. Our freaking shooting guard was 2 for 12. You're a shooting guard that can't shoot consistently. It bothers me. Like, my friends have the same builds that they play with every day and they can't consistently shoot. It drives me insane. Insane. I'll be over here stressed out, yeah. Stressed. Wait, is this the part where... No, not that. I'm about to show y'all this clip. Wait, not that one. I got so many game clips, y'all. And my friends can't play defense. They can't do shit, y'all. I'll be mad. I'll be taking the game serious, okay? I'm trying to win. I don't get on this dang on game to lose. And they just be shacked in a fool half the time. Wait, not that clip. They just be pissing me off. Wait, what did I... Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get any more trades. We got 2 minutes left. Why? Just why? Ooh, perfect example. Let me show y'all how my friends be shacked in a fool. Hold on. This is the perfect example. Don't play with friends like this. This me with the purple hair, by the way. He the main one that be shacked in a fool, be pissing me off. Sir. Why? I just don't be understanding. You can see it's multiple people down there before it happens. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, I'm about to take a picture of the accounts. I hate that I didn't get a lot of trades today, but that's all right. That is on ranked. So took 3 trades, a win and 2 losses, right? Yeah, a win and 2 losses. Like I said, I did miss some trades. So by the time I journal, it's probably going to end up being where I would have been like a little bit positive. We'll see. I don't know. The one divergence trade, I told you guys, I'm probably going to end up just not taking the trades at the rotation levels if the rotation is opposite of the trade direction, which makes the most sense anyway, to be honest with you. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm actually excited for this week to try this out. The fact that I don't have to think so hard is going to be nice because my brain hurts. I've been thinking too hard for too long at this point. So we'll see what ends up happening. 2 for 12. Yeah, he was 2 for 12 from the field, baby. Yes. Potential long on the 1 minute. Janelle, girl, I don't know because she finna be gone. But yeah, so I have $700 left in drawdown on this particular account, and then the other account has 700 left. So we'll just trade one by one this week, you know, to kind of see. And depending on how this week goes, we'll figure out if I want to copy trade starting next Monday, trade in this way, which I'm pretty sure that's what's going to end up happening. But we'll just trade one account for now because I need these 2 accounts to last. But yeah, that's that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like your video. No, it's my video. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And yes, I'm going to be on time because I'm going to get some sleep. Okay? Bye, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.